Hello and welcome to metallics.co.nz. My name's Alex Telford and today I'm going to be kicking off my new series of Maya tutorials. Now I know you're thinking, if these are Maya tutorials, why have I got Blender over? Well, the first thing I'm going to be teaching you is I'm going to be showing you how to take your model from Blender and throw it into Maya. Now you're probably wondering why you'd do this if you haven't used Maya before. Or if you're a veteran Maya user. Well, firstly, modeling in Blender I reckon is about 10 times easier than modeling in Maya. It is much faster, just in general better. So I do all my models in Blender, well, most of them anyways. And there's a couple of other things. You see in here, if I go tab into edit mode, you can see I've got a UV image laid out. So it's pretty much just this here projected out. I just UV unwrapped with three scenes. So it's not a big, not like I've put a lot of work into it, but there you go. And it's intersecting one, you know. See that? Alright, so also have these here with some shape keys on them. Now shape keys don't copy across, but that's okay. All the shape keys after this one is just a way for me to crush the cans. And of course open and close the lid. So not difficult modeling here. There's something I just whipped up for this tutorial. But yeah, so we've got the scene here, and now we want to get it so that it's in Maya. So there's this one here is what happens when you bring it into Maya. So I'm just going to go File, New Scene. Don't save this. And this is a default scene in Maya. And it's pretty much the same sort of way of moving around as if you're using Blender. Alt right click to zoom in and out, Alt middle click to move around, and Alt left click to pan around it. So it's a little bit different. Personally, I like the Blender way better because it's less buttons and you can do more with them. But oh well, I don't know how to change that as of that yet. Alright, so first things first, we need to get this into Maya. Now I'm going to be showing you the proper way of doing it, because there's a few ways out there and it just doesn't work. Because generally when you import something from Blender into Maya with an OBJ, everything gets put into one solid object, so a single mesh, and that's just not cool. So we want to have these all separate meshes. So first thing we're going to do is just remove all the subdivision surface modifiers, because we don't want them copied across, because that will just apply the modifiers. So you can see that it's distorted a little bit there, but we'll fix that up in a moment. So next thing to do is, this is the scene that we're going to be exporting. We want to go File, Export for Wavefront Obj. Now if this isn't here, then you can find it in the user preferences. So this one here, I'm going to export to crush.obj, and that will export like that. But there's one thing that we need to change. Well, I don't need to change because I do. Oh wait, yes I do. It hasn't popped up. So I'll show you, because this is what happens when you export normally. You'll come up with a bit of an issue. So I'll pop into Maya, go File, Import, and crush.obj. And now we have our scene here. But there is a bit of a problem, and that is that it's all a single object, which is what I was talking about before. We don't want that. So let's just delete that and go back into Blender, go File, Export, Wavefront OBJ. Now down here you want to make sure you export the normals, you want to export the UVs, you can export the materials, but generally I don't do any materials when I export them because it can cause a few bits and troubles. I want to uncheck Export as OBJ Objects and click Export as OBJ Groups. And you've got a few other options here, like your path mode, keep vertex order, all that sort of things. We'll go through a couple of these, but basically selection only. They will only export what you've currently selected. All scenes, if you've got multiple scenes and you want to export them, then that's fine, but generally you won't want to do that. You can also export your animation, but as far as I'm aware, that doesn't work with Maya as of at this stage. You've got the presets there, but I haven't added any in. I should probably do that. Materials, if you want to export the materials. Triangulate, that will turn all your quads into triangles. You probably don't want to do that because that can kind of distort your mesh a little. Polygroups, now this here exports your vertex groups. So if you've got vertex groups in there, so if you've got multiple UVs on an object, multiple textures on an object assigned to different vertex groups, you might want to export that one there as well. NURBS, if you want to export it as NURBS, or I believe, yes, I think that converts them, but I don't use NURBS, I don't like them, it's just personal preference. And if you have both of these checked, it'll just do it as one big object, so you have to uncheck objects and click OBJ groups. Alright, so now that we've got that sorted, crush.obj, export that. We'll jump into Maya and we will go File, Import, crushed.obj. Now you can see we have them all set up. And if we just go around, and you can see this is working fine, but they're not quite looking smooth. So what we're just got to do is click on each of them, press 2, and that smooths them all out nicely. So that's all nice and sorted now. So that is how you bring things from Blender to Maya. One more thing I've got to show you is if we go here, click on this one, and we go Window, UV Texture Editor, you can see we have that UV layout. Because if you ever worked with UVs and Maya, you'll know Maya is absolutely useless when it comes to textures, to UV layouts. I've never, well, personally I've only been using Maya about a week now. I'm fairly new to using Maya, but I found Maya completely useless when it comes to UVs. Watching tutorials online, watching the masters do it, they struggle to get these lined up and straight and whatever. So I could, if I wanted to, I would just straighten this out in Blender, bring it back into Maya, and we would have a perfectly made out UV. So that is, shall I just get that back up? I'm thinking this might be a nice preview image for this. Yeah, it's looking good. Alright, anyways, so that is it for this quick tutorial. Stay tuned for some more Maya tutorials on the way. Let me know what Maya tutorials you want, and I will make them. So yeah, my name is Alex Telford, and you are on metallics.co.nz.